Okay, guys, throughout its entire series, FNAF has always been extremely fun. There have been different games that have been trying new gimmicks. At the end of the day, there has to be a best and there has to be a worst. So today, we are going to be ranking every single Five Nights at Freddy's game that I can think of. I might forget something like FNAF World. We're giving that one a 1 star. Okay, so let's be real here. Today wasn't the best day for videos. I did make a big Halloween special, but that wasn't that great. Sure, we did start a entirely new series, Sister Submarine, but this is going to sound really rude and arrogant, but I just can't say it. That sounds too mean. Okay. Well, apologies out of the way. I don't think that's really an apology, but whatever. Alright, let's get to the FNAFing. Okay, starting with FNAF 1, first off, I need to say one thing. We'll be rating them. I won't actually pull them out, but we'll just be rating them with Kool-Aid Jammer packs. FNAF 1, 5 Kool-Aid Jammer packs. Let's be honest here. It's just such an iconic game that just brought something new to the indie horror table. Sure, it didn't get too creative with all the mechanics. There's 3 mechanics you do, but it's great. It was a great way to introduce indie horror in a new way. And this has started a franchise that probably wouldn't have been the same if Scott Cawthon decided to start up with something like FNAF 2. The only problem I can really think of is the fact that the graphics aren't 100% great, and obviously they can't do very good animation. The best one is the Foxy running, but I won't count that as something that would erase a Kool-Aid Jammer, so let's just get to FNAF 2. FNAF 2, 3 Kool-Aid pouches. To be honest, I really enjoyed this game. It's fun, and I think it's great to introduce some new things. I just think it is a kind of overrated game. Now, it was cool to think of a way. One thing that really bugs me is that Foxy is the one that knows the Freddy mask. Shouldn't it be Freddy? Because, so does Freddy just come in and go oh, I'm looking at a mirror? Also, the puppet gave me nightmares for several decades. I've been alive for 9 years, and freaking decades. That piece of crap. I know. Okay, and also, really, I don't like the jump scare noise. In FNAF 1, it's something you hear and you instantly know it, you love it. And with FNAF 2, it's just I kind of know it, but I don't really care. Also, it's way too easy to play in VR. But, FNAF 3, 4 Kool-Aid pouches. This one, honestly, many people disliked because of how different it was. But I think that's what makes it so fun. It's cool that you only really have to focus on one. Sure, sometimes you'll have to, go up and reboot things. But mostly, it's all about Springtrap. But it's such a difficult mechanic. Because sometimes you just won't listen, And that's kind of the problem. It's kind of an old game, so the coding isn't perfect, but anyway, Springtrap is just a very horrifying jump scare. It's not jump. It's it doesn't make you jump. I wouldn't even call it a jump scare. But I would still call it a scare. Because unlike the other ones, it feels like they're just glitching and this is out of their control. But with Springtrap, you see his face, you see his brain. Okay, you can't see his brain. You can see his organs though. But you just understand what he's trying to do. You know he's going to murder you, and he knows that he's about to do it. It's such a horrifying scare, and probably the scariest in the franchise, not including VR. We'll get to that one too. FNAF 4, 1 Kool-Aid pouch. I freaking hate that game. Now I know what I just said in FNAF 3, it's a different concept. But the thing is, FNAF, one thing that I love about FNAF is it's a very good game for me to play in the car. Now that's kind of more my opinion, like it's not too big of a grindy game. I mean, there's only 7 levels in the entire game, depending on which one you're playing. But I mean, with FNAF 4, I mean, you don't want to like turn on music or like, you don't want to like blast your volume while playing on the Nintendo Switch in the car. In FNAF 4, you need to listen very closely. Now, one way you can fix this is earbuds. But I just think it's too much work and too much uncomfort just to play one game. Also, I just think it's kind of over the top scary. Like, Nightmare Freddy has probably the coolest voice in Ultimate Custom Night. But I just don't think it's good. It doesn't have a good mechanic. I mean, I guess Nightmare Freddy as a whole can kind of make it recover, but like, at the same time, I just don't think it's that great of a game. You know, maybe... Nah, only one. Okay, what's next? Okay, we need to talk about FNAF World. I think everybody knows it deserves one. Like, it's just so bad. It's... Even Scott Cawthon himself, when he decided he was going to retire, and he put it on, I think it was Reddit, he even said, I miss making RPGs, even though I suck at it. He himself admitted it. But I think it deserves just a teensy little bit better. I mean, it created a new type of FNAF game. Not a new game in general, like, that was, I think FNAF as a whole created a new type of game, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. The thing is, it was kind of cool to see FNAF characters actually duking it out. Like, in the general FNAF basis game, you just kind of see, like, hello, and then you're just dead instantly. I mean, with such a big robot, and if you see in FNAF VR, they're like twice as tall as you, you probably couldn't fight them. But in, what's it called? I'm forgetting all over the place. FNAF World, it actually shows you what powers they truly possess. Like, oh, sure, you know, they're intelligent enough to pick you up and throw you in a suit, but that's kind of it. You're aware that they can kill you and suffocate you, but you can never really understand what else they could do as a fighter base. I think what would give this 3 pouches instead of 2 would be a fighter game. I think a fighter game would be incredibly funny, which is why I've been thinking about doing a Smash Bros. Moveset idea for Freddy. But overall, I think this game isn't as bad as people give it credit for, so I'm going to give it 2. It's still not that great of a game. It's not really. It got replaced on Steam for another game. And that game is Sister Location, and that game wasn't much better. You see, FNAF can sometimes have fun minigames. Like, think about all the ones in FNAF 3. Those are quality. It's retro, but at the same time, it isn't everywhere. Like, it's not the big part of the game. And while that is how you get the good ending in FNAF 3, it's not... I don't have a chameleon in my hands, right? Oh, thank God. I completely forgot if I did or not. Okay, what was I talking about? Sister Location, okay. It's just, that entire game felt like it was only minigames. It had nothing but minigames. Nothing but minigames. Nothing but minigames. It just pissed me off. When I'm playing a FNAF game, I want like a kind of like, okay, I guess they did kind of do a resource management, but that was a super hard thing to unlock. And I don't even understand how you do it. You can only move forward in the Funtime Foxy minigame. But again, I guess it did introduce kind of a new genre. Like, I feel like that introduced us to the new generation of FNAF games. Like you got your classic ones right here. You got your 5, and once you get to this game up here, it feels like a new kind of game, because going into the next games after this, it's starting to build up more momentum and more of a creative game. Because Scott, no offense, but like for about 4 games, he's practically been doing nothing but just like survive until 6 a.m. But this one is a bit different. This one, you do all these crazy challenges, and while I don't think that mini games are that fun, and I think it's very consistent, and that sometimes I like it to be a little spicy, but I feel like it's okay to give it 3. I was thinking of 2, but you know, maybe starting up a new generation, it might be a little bit tougher than I might think. Because I'm a freaking 9-year-old. Anyway, 6, FNAF 6, also known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Create your own. Now, this game, I would have adored if there were 2 game modes. One that would be actual FNAF-y, and one that would be a tycoon. Now, if that's how it was, this game would have gotten an easy 5 Kool-Aid pouches. But given how Scott decided to kind of merge them together, I didn't like that. I thought it was really cool to kind of enter a new tycoon type, but they never introduced us to that game again. It kind of got me a little angry, because when I saw the trailers, it looks like it was just 2 different game modes. You know, the one where you're doing your little like ordering things and looking to the right. Now, maybe a 3rd game mode that was both of them combined would have been fine, I guess, but like, I just really wanted there just be a game mode where you'd just be creating your own pizzeria. And that's what made this go from 5 Kool-Aid pouches to 4. It's still an amazing game though, and I wish they did more tycoons and just made the improvement that I just talked about. But anyway, this one game, the next game, is such an utterly beautiful game. And I'm seriously going to burst into tears because of how wonderful this game is. In case if you're an idiot, I'm talking about Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night is incredible. You pick your own difficulties, and instead of just like easy, medium, hard, that I cannot tell you how little that narrows it down. This one, you literally control the easy, the medium, the hard, the extra hard. What you'll be it. You get to it's not like they're all the same. It's not like it's just more animatronics doing the exact same thing. They all have their own routine. They all have their own way that you have to defend them off. And if you want some basic FNAF, you could just turn on the Freddy. Freddy and Balloon Boy and Molten Freddy are all like classic FNAF stuff, but Rockstar Chica and Rockstar Bonnie, dear God, just put your guitar in a specific place that you'll remember. I just think it's all a very intense game. And the story's really cool, and it's about Golden Freddy and stuff, and how William's in an eternal hell or a hospital. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays, especially with the new Fazbear Frights books that released and like ruined the entire thing. But this game not only gets 5 Kool-Aid pouches, but they get 5 Kool-Aid men. That's right. Oh yeah, and gods, 5 of them, just to show how beautiful this game is. We're going to leave FNAF VR for last, because that one will be the biggest. FNAF AR. 2 Kool-Aid pouches. Boo. Okay, I know what you're thinking. You know, it's cool to bring AR into the game. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No. When I saw that they were doing AR, once again, kind of like the Pizzeria Simulator, I feel like they should have done 2 modes. Doing the game mode they did, the stop the animatronics from tearing off your face, was incredible. and maybe a third one. Third one. A third one where you like, where it's like Pokemon Go, where you like capture your own animatronics. And okay, I had nowhere else to go with that one. Honestly, that one I would have been fine if they excluded it. But one I just feel like would have been cool. I completely forgot what I was thinking of. Oh yeah, hide and seek. I was hoping you could like hide in specific places in your house. And the animatronics would actually have some sort of routine that you could figure out and kind of like revolve around. And they will slowly build intelligence and figure out where you are and where you are. Figure out what your kind of hiding strategy would be. And that would have been the most brilliant FNAF game. I would have given it 900 Kool-Aid men if it were to do that, because that would have been such a horrific and intelligent gameplay. But no, you just click a button when they're walking towards you. It feels lazy. It just doesn't feel fun. It was lazy. Sure, it did give a good spoopy atmosphere, making your house slightly like darker and stuff, making a better atmosphere, I guess. But at the end of the day, it was a very lazy game, and it only gets 2. I would have given it 1 if there was already an AR game, but given how it's once again kind of like sister location, it brought up a new genre, or like a new like generation of FNAF. Now, let's talk about FNAF VR, shall we? This game is absolutely beautiful. This game, once again, kind of lets you go at your own pace. There's some mini games that are super simple and you could barely die in, like in the FNAF mode of the pirate ride. I haven't recorded that one yet. There's other ones where there's others, and if you feel like getting a nostalgia punch in the face, why not play the first 3 FNAFs in your classical game mode? You know, the glitch bunny play or glitch trap thing is also a really great way to go at your own pace. Collect those tapes when you feel like you're okay with him coming closer. If you want personal space, get your own personal space. You don't have to grab those glitch cassettes. You don't even have to know he exists. And once again, going at your own pace, we're talking about real life too. Because not only is that on the VR headset like you'd think, it's also extended onto a flat console. You can get it on your computer, your PlayStation, your Xbox, and you can get it on your Nintendo Switch, just any sort of console, but also you can get it on your phone right now. And it's not that big of a difference, but there are still some major differences. Like how you can collect every single coin in the console mode, but it's a lot more of a difficult and enjoying experience if you're playing on the VR. But at the same time, the VR may be a better experience, but it's also more expensive. Going at your own pace. It is an incredible aspect, and I'm really glad Scott Cawthon went this way before retiring. But once you look at them all, they're all an incredible game. They're all revolutionary. And the fact that Scott's retiring may be a very sad fact. But I respect his decision. All of these games, I think it's better that you try to make new games and have them kind of be bad than just doing the exact same great game over and over and over. That's kind of what happened once he went into FNAF World. He tried doing different things. And it honestly kind of started up to become better and better games. And Security Breach may be coming out in about a month or 2. And that'll probably be the last game he's involved in. But I think it's a very satisfying close to Scott's story. let him go play with his family. Let him do the decision he did. After all, like the Help Oh Well song says, fans are not puppeteers for the creators they enjoy. They shouldn't be able to choose what the person says at all. They're supposed to enjoy the content they create, and that should be all they do. So while some of these may be pretty bad games, and, you know, at least in some way, they're revolutionary. And with Scott closing his story with his final representation in FNAF, I think all I gotta say is thank you so much, Scott, for creating such wonderful games. And once Security Breach comes out, your final inclusion in FNAF for a while, possibly forever too. I'm really gonna miss you, man. You are an incredible creator, and once, like I already said, we shouldn't be able to control your life. You should be in control of it. So I totally respect your decision. Make sure you keep on playing that Mega Man 3. Because, well, let's be honest, Mario is just 10 times better.